Hey there, welcome to a This Week at Skye. And so this week, Ashley selfishly decided that she didn't want to come on at 6 a.m. while she's on a family holiday. So we've got a super sub in, a guest host, Trent Bacon. Welcome, Trent.
Hello, Philip. Great to be here.
Thanks for coming on. So talk to me about your week. How was your week last week?
Last week was pretty good. We had our associates all in the office. We had a couple of our team members with Amy, Azaria and Kelly down from Queensland, New South Wales in the office as well. They were doing all sorts of training and I was stuck in the spreadsheets and the automations trying to figure out how we're going to update our advice generation stuff.
Yeah, so Trent, Mr. Technologist these days.
Shrek.
Trek? Tell me,
Yeah.
where did Trek come from?
Trent and tech combined.
I wasn't sure if you're going like the Star Trek angle or something. But like most things you do, Trent, I only understand half of the words that come out of your mouth.
That's all right. As long as I understand, that's all good.
Exactly. All right, my week last week was good. We had some referral partner meetings, so catching up with a new potential referral partner and just chatting about they've gone through a few insurance specialists in their firm and they're just looking at, do they double down and really work it out and lean into it, or do they refer it out? So that was a good meeting last week. And yes, we had a sender webinar. So listening to them about their new products. And it's always good. I always go into those meetings and actually messaged Matt, who will come on and do a client story later, and said, hey, let's make sure we get our BS meters on. And so we can show the associates that if a product provider says some stuff, then always be willing to ask them to substantiate it or understand where they get the data from. And so, yes, Matt and myself were good, challenging questions in the webinar, but it was great. Marshall Ross is a fantastic presenter. He's a data nerd, so he's always good one to ask plenty of questions from.
Yeah, for sure. He would definitely have you keep him on his toes, and he's definitely on them.
Yeah. All right, so first story we're going to talk about. So the headline is, and let me be clear on this headline, it's ASIC claim against CEO dismissed. So ASIC took a CEO to court and the judge threw it out. So this is a lot about the conflict of interest stuff. So Trent, talk to me a bit more about this story. What happened?
Yeah, so the conflict of interest it's all about conflict of remuneration. So the business was offering payments or holidays for high-performing employees. It was all around sales. So yeah, no other metric, but if you make enough sales, you'll get to go on certain holidays, certain trips, and that was thrown out, which seems really strange they couldn't pin them for it. It's like the Simpsons cops. They can't do much. ASIC these days, they're not really doing their job. So yeah, to me, it looked like a cut and dry conflicted remuneration case, but they weren't able to pin them for it.
Yeah, so I mean, we do a lot of work in our business just to make sure there is no question of a conflicted remuneration, and there's a lot of work to go. How do we make sure our advisors aren't being incentivized based on sales at all? And then knowing that this company was giving out jet skis as compensation for getting sales numbers, and ASIC couldn't even, bring a case against them is kind of a real shame. And also just like, if we're doing the right thing, and people doing the wrong thing can't even get a pretty clear, what looks like a clear cut court case against them, then why are we doing the right thing? Now, obviously, ASIC don't come after us, and we are doing the right thing and always will. But yeah, there seems to be way too many of these cases where ASIC can't ping directors for doing wrongdoings.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a toothless tiger at times. Looks really scary, but until it comes to the bite, they've got really not much on it.
Yeah. All right. So our next story was also about a Swiss Re. Now they're pausing new business activity. So this was an interesting article because Swiss Re, who is a reinsurer, now they insure insurance companies. And so they were talking about stopping new business activities. So there was a bit of contention within the advice community about what this actually meant. But Trent, talk to me first of all, what is a reinsurer for any of our clients or any of our team or any referral partners watching this? What does a reinsurer do exactly?
Yeah, so there's insurance companies that you'll be insured with. One of the 6, 7, 8 that are in Australia, and each of those insurance company will have a reinsurer, which is basically an insurance company's insurance company. So some of the bigger insurers, they may keep 70, 80% or 50% of the insurance risk within themselves in their business, and they'll actually reinsure it somewhere else. So they'll send the risk to someone else or that one of these bigger businesses, and they will actually pay out that claim if or part of that claim if there was to arise, and they pay a premium like you would as an individual, similar to how you would with your insurance company. They just send it off somewhere else and they take a clip of that. So some of the smaller insurers will fully reinsure, or 80% will reinsure, and it'll slowly get less and less reinsurance out there. So there's about 6 or 7 large reinsurers in the world, and 4 or 5 operate in Australia, I believe.
Yeah, there's not many. In terms of reinsurers, I'm sure there's many more, but who operate in Australia, there's very few. There's very few life insurers in the market, and then they've probably share across. I think 4 to 5. I could have done our homework before we hit record, but Swiss Re is as we can guess, they're based in Switzerland, and they are one of the major ones, and they reinsure some of the biggest insurance companies in Australia. So them saying, hey, we're not actually going to take on any new business. That in our world and in our terminology, new business means that they're not, it sounded like they're not going to take on any new policies. So Tao, who's the biggest insurance company in Australia, their reinsurer is Swiss Re. And so they came out and said, hey, it doesn't mean that we can't accept a new application and a new policy today. It just means that Swiss Re isn't going to go to another insurance company and say, hey, replace your reinsurer and sub us in coach, which is a bit concerning given that there is a small number of reinsurers in the market. That one of them is not looking to expand their reach in Australia is a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, it is concerning. They don't change that often, but every 2 to 3 years they'll re-tenure for who's going to be their insurer. So the insurers with the reinsurers. So having one off the boards, doesn't bode well. It means less competition, and it's a less tasty market for them to be involved in, which is concerning for the individual.
Yeah, and I guess they, as I said, they reinsured Tao. They're massive in terms of their total in-force premiums. So it could be much to do about nothing. They could just go, hey, we've got a lot of exposure in that country. And that country's got some difficulties when it comes to claims, but we've got enough exposure and we're happy. We're not looking for any other opportunities. But it does mean if some of those larger insurers have to tender their reinsurers somewhere else, then okay, maybe Swiss Re is out of Australia completely, which is a concern. All right, so back for Ash's Baking Corner.
Skye team's ready, forks in hand. Ash's Baking takes the stand.
Ashley is on holidays, so Trent and myself, we have delivered ourselves our own biscuits. So Trent, what have you got?
I've got double-coated Tim Tams out of the fridge. So delicious. The classic goat. They don't make them better.
Well, I know you're an opinionated guy, which is why I like you so much, Trent. So talk to me about, are you the type of guy who does the hot chocolate Tim Tam?
The Tim Tam Slam, if you will.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
It's called the Tim Tam Slam. Not for me. I'm not really a milk drinker, to be honest.
Wait, we're talking about the hot chocolate. So you bite each corner. You bite like opposing corners, and you suck the.
Yeah, it's not much of a hot chocolate person, to be honest. Don't respect the game, but not for me.
All right. So and what I've got OTAP. These are biscuits we brought home from the Philippines when we were there. Now they've been in a packet for a little while. They still should be fine, but they've sugar coated kind of biscuits. So let's go the classic, Trent. Give us a rating. It's still nice and crunchy from being so cold.
They're a 10 every day of the week.
10 out of 10. Is that your favorite flavor, the double coat?
Without a doubt. The flavored ones, not that good. The regular coated ones, they're okay. Like, they're pretty good.
The caramel in the middle. No,
I reckon the caramel's only good. The double coater, the goat.
I'm actually not the biggest Tim Tam guy. If I had to choose, it would be a mint slice over Tim Tams, like every single day of the week.
Yeah, mint slice do go, but Timmy's are better.
Right, this looks like it's just pastry kind of stuff with heaps of sugar on top. I don't know if you can actually see how much sugar's on top, but it's like It's a lot of sugar.
It's glistening in the sun.
Pete, since you're sitting there, you can actually join our baking corner because we've got to bring a guest. So impromptu guest, have a go and give me a rating. Come on, join in.
Get in shot, brother.
No offense, Boo Nights.
So buenos.
What are we
For the
tasting?
amount of sugar, they're pretty bland. They're not very sweet at all.
I don't actually. It's not pastry, is it? What is that?
I think it is, but it's just so unproven.
Unproven. As a son of a pastry chef, what does unproven mean?
It means like the yeast didn't do its thing. It's just
What's your number?
no disrespect, but there's like a 3 or 4. But Cebu's beautiful.
I reckon. I'll dip it in coffee later today, and I
Yeah.
reckon that'll bring it up. But yeah, probably a 3.5.
You give that thing a dip, it'll be better.
Ashes Bacon takes the stand.
All right, so we are going to be talking about some client stories, and we have one of our awesome advisors, Matt, or Hugh, as we like to call you. And hey, Matt, now that we've got another Matt in the business, your nickname is definitely going to be Hugh. So just FYI.
I'll take it.
Thanks for joining us, Hugh. Talk to us about a client story that you had this week.
Alrighty. So, this was an interesting one. They originally came to us and had some limited options based on the pre-assessment that we did. So only one insurer would actually offer cover originally. So anyway, fast forward to the application, ended up getting some of the covers that we thought they were going to get declined and some loadings on the other covers as well.
What were those covers? Were they the disability benefits?
Yes, TPD and income protection were both declined.
Yep.
Life and trauma were offered with loadings that we weren't expecting, or at least not that high. And out of nowhere as well, there were smoker rates on the policy, and there was no history of that anywhere that we'd seen. So as part of the usual due diligence that we do for the clients, I spotted some inconsistencies between what they said in the original fact find and then the personal statement. So that's what they actually goes to the insurer as like the final disclosure. So the disclosures were the same, but the dates didn't line up on those disclosures. So when we get an unexpected outcome, we usually send that to the clients and say, hey, this is what the insurer has offered. If you have questions or you disagree, you think something went wrong somewhere, give us a call. We'll discuss and we'll tell you, yep, no, insurer, got some extra info and that's why they've applied this, or no, they've been quite harsh. Let's get some extra information and try and fight it. So when this client received that email, they said, that sucks, but whatever, I'll take what I can get. But I wasn't quite sure if they should. So ended up giving them a call and I asked a few questions, pretty vague. I wasn't kind of leading them into saying anything, but noticed that the answers they gave matched their original fact find, which is what we based everything off. So I asked them to then go and look through the personal statement, because we always send that to clients as well, and say, just have a look through your answers and let me know if anything isn't correct. And so they went away, they had a look at that, and then lo and behold, sent us an email with some screenshots saying, hey, these sections have incorrect information. Can I get that updated? We sent that off to the insurer, and after the insurer reviewed it, they said, oh, yep, perfect. We can now offer those terms that we'd originally talked about in the pre-assessment.
And this client's disclosure was about drug use as well. This is, a great example of also working for the insurers. Often when it's a drug use disclosure update, sometimes insurance companies won't believe the advice firm or the client. They're like, well, you're going to get a better outcome, and so we're not going to believe you. And so it was good that, did you have that conversation with the underwriter about, hey, this was an inaccuracy, and did they have it?
No, they didn't question it at all. And I think part of the reason was I knew that the insurer might be really suspicious of a different answer. So rather than kind of say, hey, look at these questions specifically and update those questions, I sent an email and said, hey, can you go through your disclosures? And this was in an email as well. Can you go through your disclosures? Let us know if anything's out of place. And then that came back as an email and we sent that all to the insurer. So there was no out of nowhere, suddenly this email from a client saying these answers are wrong.
It also goes to show the level of trust underwriters have with our business. We work a lot with a lot of insurers, and so our underwriters know that we don't coach our clients. That initial form that they fill in, the clients fill in, there's no interaction with the advisors. And so therefore that can be trusted upfront. And again, when it comes to the personal statement, majority of the time there's no input or influence from our point of view. So it goes to show that building that relationship with the underwriters, where we know if there is terms that we don't love and it's not in our, not great for our clients, but it's fair outcome, then we'll accept it and we'll go, hey, we'll recommend to our clients, hey, take these terms. This is what we believe to be, on offer and based on the disclosures. But it also means that, because our underwriters know that, Matt is honest and Skye is honest, in terms of the way in which they view their work, it is helpful to have that relationship build up where they're not going to question us. But if we're arguing and fighting every single term we ever get for our clients, even if it's unreasonable, then the underwriters start to get a bit unwilling to negotiate.
Or if we happen to have 0 clients that have ever mentioned one particular type of event or, disclosure that happens to lead to negative terms, that would also be pretty suspicious.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. For anything else about this client that's worth touching on?
I think that was about it.
All right, I had a client claim. I had a client story this week. So it was about a claim that we are working on. And this client came to us a number of months ago to start on a claim. And then a few months have gone past where we've tried to reach out to the client knowing that it is a sensitive, when claims come about, it is a sensitive thing. So we've kind of let it, go along. But we've had a representative reach out on the client's behalf. And this is where, it is a lawyer reaching out to try and help the client with a claim. And so we've kind of just, working gently with the client to go, hey, you can work with a lawyer and that's totally fine. However, our claim service, we're not charging you for it. And at best, we may charge you a small fee, but it is this tricky situation as an advice firm when we have lawyers acting on our client's behalf, knowing the fees that they can be charging for these claims, and especially for claims that potentially, if the client scenario is true as they articulate it to us, it's actually not going to be that much of a difficult claim to get across the line. So it's a delicate one, and I mean it's still ongoing, but that's a situation again. Coming back to your situation, Matt, where it is great having an advisor in your corner working on your behalf when it comes to an application, which you've articulated, but also when it comes to claim, working with the advisor to help in that claim. We've got Marie full-time, managing these claims on our client's behalf. So yeah, that's a client situation that I've been working with this week, and I'm sure it'll come through over the next few weeks. So that'll be interesting to follow.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you taking the time to run us through that client story.
Thanks for having me.
Sorry. Thank you, Hugh.
Cool.
That's my bad.
All right. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. What is coming up next week, Trent?
Next week or this week coming up, we're filming the My Risk Advisor podcast. So we've got a couple episodes for that. So we're getting ahead. I'll be helping out with Ashley and Ashley's team while she's away and continuing on our advice generation stuff. So getting into the harder stuff now. And I thought I was through the hard stuff, but no, it's just beginning.
That's it. What was your nickname you gave yourself again?
Trek.
Shrek. I'm going to call you Shrek.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Could you smell? Maybe. Not sure. All right. What we have actually, Skye, we are doing a steps challenge. So fresh off our cycling challenge, we had a week break. Now we're into our steps challenge. So who's in your team, Trent?
I have Jimbo and Ian in my team. So we've got the boys.
Oh, not a bad team. And you're disadvantaged because you are taller. So you've got to walk many more distance. Yeah, you got to walk more distance to get the same amount of steps. I'm with Jam, who is consistently a great stepper. So I got lucky, and Anne, I think this must be Anne's first steps challenge, and I am quietly at 6,500 steps in today. So I'm coming out the blocks hard.
Well done.
I got to keep my consistency up, and that's going for 4 weeks. So it'll be good to see how we go. What else is coming up for me? Got some referral partner meetings. So got one today with a new potential referral partner, and one tomorrow with a long-standing one of our big partners. So looking forward to catching up and just kind of helping advice firms deal with the same issues. We talk about it a lot. So a lot of their issues is how do they manage insurance moving forward? It's not a core competency of theirs. Either just insurance only. If they have people who need insurance only, where do they send them? And yeah, if they don't want to lean into it, how do they partner with a firm who can take on the insurance side of their advice, and they can deal with the holistic side of their advice. So dealing with pretty consistent issues across the board within the advice profession. There seems to be a really big shift in this idea that we are happy to mutually work with the client and help the client do what's in their best interest, whether it doesn't actually matter which advice firm is the one delivering the service, just being really clear on delineating, all right, Skye will do the risk and insurance needs. And then, the mortgage broker or the advice firm or the accountants will kind of lean into their core competencies. And then we've got some content coming up as well. So one thing we didn't actually mention at the top of this episode is we did a recording last week, and it was probably one of the more enjoyable deep dives we've done, and definitely the least. What's the word I'm looking for, Trent?
Serious? Or
Serious? Yeah.
I was going to say intelligent, but it was actually quite thoughtful.
Yeah, it was thoughtful.
But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so we dressed up as Mario and Luigi and talked about all the risk concerns when it came to Mario and Luigi getting insurance, and then also delved into some other characters. So that'll come out in a little while, but that was a bit of fun. Some content that is coming out this week is we've got a blog, so building the next generation of advisors. So what we're doing here at Skye to help develop our advisors, we have a Skye Moments with Emily, and we get a mousy introduction. So look out for that and what that means. And that reaction, Trent, was more than justified. And then we've got a deep dive. So lesser known benefits of insurance policies. So some of the niche benefits when it comes to insurance policies. So deep diving in some of those. We've got an insurance myth. So insurance for the next 30 years. Am I locked into premiums? And then Friday, we have an October highlights reel. Now, the highlights reel over the last few months it's normally ended with you looking like a fool, Trent.
Surprise, surprise.
Now, I'm hoping this October highlight reel also does. Potty, can you confirm or deny? Oh, wait till Friday to see it. Trent, you'll just scroll straight to the end to see yourself. So
just what I do every week.
Awesome. Thank you, Trent, for being a super sub.
Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Thanks heaps for watching. If you did enjoy this, we've got a playlist on the screen and you can see other videos that we've done. Thanks heaps. Have a great week.